Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate if you jump on here live here on this Monday. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. I was going to do this video without the light because it's not quite dark, and I thought, no, you know what? Everyone deserves to see my pretty face. So I turned it on. But tonight here on the channel, we're going to talk some AEW. Good evening, Kevron. Glad to have you here, as always. But before I get into AEW's pay-per-view, let me quickly say that I mentioned this yesterday, but I'll bring it up again. I had a fantastic time Saturday night in Griffin, Georgia for UCW's hometown throwdown at the Griffin High School, a benefit show for the Griffin High School wrestling team. Hey there, DG. Glad to have you here. We had Carlito, the Barbarian, Carissa Rivera, who used to be Elektra Lopez in WWE. We had Chick Donovan. We had Chase Emery, who was one of the big, huge independent stars in Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina, as well as Seth Stevens and Eric Thunder and Billy Starr and several other guys as well. Their next show, if everything goes as planned, is coming up in October. And this Sunday, I'll be at Scrappy Championship Wrestling. I've got more info on that coming up later on this week. But tonight I want to talk about Forbidden Door. They're calling it Forbidden Door London. It's the first Forbidden Door to take place outside of the U.S. It's the 4th annual Forbidden Door. It'll take place Sunday, August 24th at the O2 Arena. 9 matches on tap. Now, there's a couple of matches that still have a to be determined that's going to be in the match, but other than that, we know everything else, so the card will be finalized coming up here in the next couple of days as far as who's going to fill those to-be-determined spots. But it's not like we have a match where both sides are TBDs. It's not like that. It's only a couple matches, and one side is filled, but the other side is not. We've got Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay versus the Death Riders, the Young Bucks, and Gabe Kidd in a steel cage match. Hey there, Victor. Glad to have you here. And hey there, KB. Glad to have you here. And as always, you're right, KB. Go Tigers and Blue Skies. Glad to have you here all the way from Indonesia. Thank you so much for checking in. Tell your friends, tell your family over there in Indonesia about the channel. If they like any major sport, there's something on the channel they will like. We have Hurt Syndicate versus the Eliminator Tournament winners. So that's one match where both sides aren't quite filled out, but we do know the winners of the Eliminator Tournament will take on the Hurt Syndicate for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Hey there, Paulo. Glad to have you here. Then we have Kazuchika Okada versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW Unified Championship. Timeless Tony Storm versus Athena for the AEW Women's World Championship. This is Athena's Casino Gauntlet cash-in, so she's using that cash-in to take on Tony Storm. Sunday night at Forbidden Door, London. In Blue Skies, I am from the deep south here in the United States. Thank you for asking. Then we have No Gallo, I am not in Ohio. Matter of fact, I've never been to Ohio. I kind of want to go one time just to say I've been there, but I've never been there. But hello to you, Gallo. Mercedes Moné versus Alex Windsor versus Persephone versus a TBD in a 4-way match for the TBS Championship. And by the way, if you hear some names on here you don't recognize, it's because it's Forbidden Door with AEW along with NJPW, so some of these names are NJPW stars. and you're from Mississippi. So, Gallo, glad to have you here from Mississippi. Tell your friends, tell your family. We talk college football, the NFL, Major League Baseball, a little college baseball. Not too heavy on it though, because I know not many people that watch the channel watch college baseball, but I do mention it from time to time. College basketball, the NBA, wrestling, NASCAR, and I try to do a top 10 countdown every week, and some of those are about sports, and some of them are about some kind of entertainment, whether it's restaurants, vacation spots, cars, music. You never know, but Gallo, I do not talk politics here on the channel, and you watch Iowa State. Well, that's good, especially in Mississippi, Gallo, because they're not a very popular team, so I'm sure the people in Ames, Iowa, appreciate you being a Iowa State Cyclone fan. Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi for the AEW TNT Championship. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Nigel McGuinness for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Hangman Adam Page versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. This is MJF's casino cash in. And then we have Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. Oh, so are you saying you're a Dodger fan, or are you saying you're a Red Sox fan, or are you saying, oh, you're asking me who's going to win? Well, in a one-game series, which series is not one game, but like in a one-game playoff, you never know. But I would say in a 5-game series or 7-game series, I would pick the Dodgers. KB, your mom lives in Tiger Town. You live in Concord. Well, that's not too far from Clemson. I went to Concord one time years and years and years ago, KB, when I wanted to go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame. They say it's in Charlotte, but it's actually in Concord, and that was, I don't know, 2009 maybe, and I have not been since then, but I'm a huge NASCAR fan, and Gallo, I would pick the Dodgers. In the regular season, in the playoffs, the World Series, I'd pick the Dodgers in a series over the Red Sox, but for one game, anything could happen, but I think the Dodgers are the better team, and typically in a series, usually if it's an important series, most of the time the better team wins. But all that is coming up Sunday night at AEW's Forbidden Door London. Again, it's going to be the 4th annual Forbidden Door and the first to take place outside of the U.S. It'll be at the O2 Arena in London. Any thoughts on it? Please feel free to let me know. I thought AEW did a fantastic job with the build to All In. All In may have been the best show they've ever had, but I feel like All In happened, and then ever since then they've gotten kind of stale, and it's kind of gotten dull. Maybe it'll pick back up heading into Forbidden Door Sunday and after Forbidden Door. But any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. I'm going to start collecting coins. The change will do me good. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them.